You're listening to Sorry.
Today will be mostly sunny and pleasant, high of 80. Agree that.
You're listening.
당신은 지금 듣고 있습니다.
Вы слушаете.
Estás escuchando.
Una sikiliza
to GPSG Radio.
From the Indiana University.
El equipo de gobierno de los estudiantes graduados.
Graduate and Professional Student Government.
Hello, and welcome to the Indiana University Graduate and Professional Student Government Podcast, better known as GPSG Radio. I'm Rick Brewer, and this new weekly program is designed to bring you the latest news from GPSG General Assemblies, advocacy, awards and funding, and social events, as well as top tips, reviews, facts, and deals from resources around Bloomington, helping you get the best out of the city. You'll hear exclusive stuff you won't find anywhere else online, like our interviews with you, the graduate students of IU Bloomington. What would you say are some of the best and worst parts about being a graduate student?
I've never thought about the best parts.
So often, a lot of times, especially if I say classics, people think, oh, you study Shakespeare. I'm like, no, not quite that type of classics.
I don't know of any other school that invests as much money and resources into production quality and production value.
And I'm writing my dissertation on contemporary folklore about abandoned psychiatric institutions.
It made me feel that, okay, GPSG is a very important organization and they are respected and it has power to do things.
And you'll also hear from some of Bloomington's best restaurants, distilleries, pubs, productions, and hangouts.
The Pride Film Festival is an event that started here in Bloomington in the Buskirk-Chumley and has grown into a tradition for many people.
So we're making shareable seasonal dishes that complement our cocktails.
But we buy chocolate from really around the world and I blend it to my specifications.
There's soul stuff happening. There's indie rock happening. There's heavy music going on. I mean, it's all over the place.
GPSG Radio was created by me, Rick Brewer, with contributions from Shea Smock and the Monroe County Public Library. Don't forget to subscribe by tapping subscribe on your preferred podcast app, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And if you like what you hear, please leave us a review on iTunes, or better yet, tell a friend you heard from us. Now let's hear more about GPSG from our president, Adam Reneker. I asked him about GPSG's mission and the purpose it serves on the Bloomington campus.
So the mission of GPSG is to bring together graduate and professional students from all across campus, both in terms of bringing people together for community, as an opportunity to meet people from different departments, but then also so that we can speak to the university administration as a unified voice in order to advocate on behalf of graduate and professional students. Yeah, so some of the things that GPSG has done in the past for the graduate community in terms of advocacy are, because of the advocacy that GPSG has done, the university has now given graduate students access to dental insurance. Something as basic as that. When it comes to programming and tangible resources, we provide subsidized headshots for graduate and professional students in order for them to work with their LinkedIn profiles. GPSG also hosts an active shooter workshop for graduate students at IU, which is especially important as many graduate students are teaching classes and have other students that they're responsible for. So I think there are a couple different reasons why it's important to be involved with GPSG. The first one is that as a graduate student, it's really easy to just kind of get stuck in your bubble of your specific graduate program. And it's really easy to not meet anybody else while you're on campus. But this is an opportunity for you to expand your network, both in a professional way, so that way you can get to meet people with different backgrounds, but then also just for fun and to become friends with people who aren't studying the same things as you. And so as you're hanging out, you won't necessarily be talking about what it is that you're studying all the time. And then I think one of the other reasons why it's important to get involved with GPSG is because that's one of the few ways for graduate and professional students on campus to really be able to impact the way that this university is run. Because as graduate and professional students, a lot of times we serve kind of a dual role, where the undergraduate students have their undergraduate student government and it's focused solely on what it's like to be a student at IU. And then the faculty even has their own government, which focuses on what it's like to be a faculty member. But as graduate and professional students, a lot of times we're fulfilling the role of both student and also faculty member, or just being an adult who's on a campus that's made for people who have just moved out of their parents' homes. And so it gives us the chance then to help the university understand the special needs that our population has. So the best way to get involved with GPSG is simply to sign up for our newsletter and to follow us on social media. Every week we send out a newsletter which has information about programming, about advocacy, and about just general ways to get involved. And so I think that that's probably the easiest way to know immediately all the different ways to get involved with us. So we have a General Assembly meeting once a month. It's always the second Friday of the month. And so our first one is going to be September 8th, and it's in Woodburn Hall, room 101, and it starts at 3:30.
Adam Reneker, the president of IU's Graduate and Professional Student Government. Well, that's the crux of our show, GPSG Radio, a new episode every week. If you'd like to become more involved with GPSG, such as becoming a student representative, joining an advocacy committee, or want to know when we're hosting our next social event, you can find us online at indiana.edu/GPSO, or say hi to us on Facebook and Twitter at IUBGPSG. We also have a newsletter you might like. It comes out every Tuesday. If you have any questions, shoot us an email at iugpsg@indiana.edu. Again, that's iugpsg@indiana.edu. The Indiana University Graduate and Professional Student Government, advocating for an inclusive and empowered graduate and professional student community. This is GPSG Radio. I'm Rick Brewer.